I'm going to explain how to put a new string onto a classical guitar. This may seem like a silly thing, a simple-minded thing to talk about, but a lot of people seem not to know how to do it very well. So I thought it was a good thing to record for you. First thing, you take off the old string, of course, and if you have a cat, bear in mind that this is a wonderful cat toy. Cats love strings, guitar strings, because they're shiny and because they can't really catch them with their paws, and they try really hard to. So if you have a cat, make sure that you keep the string for the cat. My cat in New York years ago used to run every time she heard me changing guitar strings because she knew she was in for a treat. So then you get out the new string, and that is going to be, in this case, the 6th string. Now, guitar manufacturers, guitar string manufacturers, usually make one end of the string is a little more loosely wound than the other. And Rosa Augustine of Augustine Strings explained to me that they do this on purpose so that you can tie the knot at the bridge a little more easily. However, I don't know any guitarist who does it that way, because we distrust the loosely wound strings and we always think that the other end is going to be stronger. So you don't use the loose one, you use the stronger one, the tightly wound one. Okay, so the first thing you do is you put the string through the bridge. And you bring it out a little bit. And now you want to make a loop. And what you do is you put the string on your finger like that, and then you twist around this way. This is so that you can hold the string in its loop without having to hang on to it. So you hold it like this. It's been looped around so that the finger itself holds the string in place, and you twist it a couple times. Something like that, maybe. Okay? Then you can hold on to it with one hand. You don't need the other hand to hold the string, the loop, so that means you can use the string, your other hand, for the other end of the string. Which you now are going to do a little sewing. You put it through the loop, pull it tight. Now this also you want to look at closely. You want to pull it around as hard as you can so it goes around the corner of the bridge part. And then now this is looking kind of big, but probably will tighten up all right when we get it a little bit tighter. But it's very important that it be around the corner so that at least one loop is on the other side. Then you hang on tightly. You're hanging on very tightly to this string. Don't let go, because you don't want the loop to let go. And you should have your rollers so that the hole goes back to front, and you put the string over the top of the roller. You're still holding on tight. Put it back through the hole in the roller. Pull, still holding on tightly, and you pull it very, very tight. As tight as you can. Now you hold on to the top part of the string and you loop the end around itself 2 times so that you end up with twists like that. And then you pull it up so that you get it as tight as it possibly can, and now you can tune. Now, as soon as you have the loops all having gone around the roller enough that they're not going to come loose again, now finally you can let go. And this is when then you can take a look and see what's going on down here. And now probably you can push it just a little bit and tighten it up that way. And also, of course, you want to make sure that the string is not sitting on top of the guitar where it would rattle. There you go. Okay, so that's good. And now you take your tuner, little thing, gizmo, if you have one, which is a wonderful thing to have, and you tune. So figure out what this is. So you very quickly put on a string, and it's going to hold its tune better, because you see here, you only have maybe 1.5 turns of the winding. That means that it's going to stay in tune better. Because if you have too many turns, if you put it on really loosely and you crank it, crank it, crank it, crank it, goes around 4 or 5 times, which I've seen a lot of the time, what happens is you tune the string to something, and then it takes it maybe a minute or so to work its way, the new tension around all those windings, and all that time your string is going gradually flatter and flatter, or sharper and sharper, or something like that. You also, by twisting it around itself, you've made the string thinks that it's in a knot. It's not going to let loose, but it isn't a knot, and you don't want to ever tie a knot in the strings up here, because what happens to knots, particularly on the treble side, is they kind of ossify after a very short period of time, and they usually get pulled into the hole a little bit, and so they turn into like concrete. And when you're trying to get your old string off, you'll be there with needle nose pliers working for half an hour to try to pull all the little twistums of the knot out of the little hole in the roller, and it's a real total pain in the neck. So don't do that. Do it this way. There you go. And then, of course, you have your nice toy for your cat.